Students, today I am here with Biotechnology Principle and Process Part 2 of 12th Standard. Here we are going to discuss restriction enzyme, nomenclature of restriction enzyme and separation and isolation of DNA fragments. So let us start the session with restriction enzyme. Restriction enzymes were isolated for the first time by Stewart Lin and Warner Arbour in the year 1963. They isolated two enzymes which restricted the growth of bacteriophage in Bacterium E. coli. Out of these two enzymes, one was responsible for adding methyl groups to DNA and the other enzyme was responsible for cutting or splicing the DNA molecules, and this enzyme is called restriction endonuclease. Restriction endonuclease belongs to a class of enzyme called nucleases and are of two types, that is exonuclease and endonuclease. So let us see what is the difference between exonuclease and endonuclease. Exonuclease cut off nucleotides from 5 or 3 terminal ends of DNA molecules, whereas endonuclease cut DNA at any point in between 3 and 5, that is except terminal end. The first restriction endonuclease was isolated by H.O. Smith and K.W. Wilcox and T.J. Kelly in the year 1968. This enzyme isolated from Bacterium Haemophilus influenzae and named as Hind II. It was observed that Hind II always cut DNA molecules at specific sequence of 6 base pairs called as recognition sequence for Hind II. Besides this, more than 900 restriction enzymes are known today that have been isolated from over 230 strains of bacteria, each of which recognizes different recognition sequence. So altogether 900 restriction enzymes, and they were isolated from 230 strains of bacteria, and all of them have different recognition sequence. The recognition sequence of each restriction nuclease consists of a definite number of a specific base pair in a DNA double helix. It is called palindromic nucleotide sequence. Palindromic sequence means where the sequence of base pair reads the same on both the DNA strands, when the orientation of reading is kept the same. For example, 5 to 3 end GAATTC and 3 to 5 end CTTAAG. Each restriction endonuclease inspects the DNA molecule in the search of a specific recognition sequence, that is palindromic sequence. When it gets the specific recognition sequence, it binds to the site and cut each of the two strands of double helix at a specific point by hydrolyzing the phosphodiester backbones. Restriction enzymes cut the strand of DNA a little away from the center of the palindrome sites, but between the same two bases on the opposite strands. As a result, single-stranded portions called sticky ends are produced at the end of the DNA. And this stickiness of the ends facilitates the action of enzyme DNA ligase. Means DNA ligase helps in joining the vector DNA and alien DNA by forming hydrogen bond with their complementary cut counterparts. Here you may see the formation of rDNA by the action of restriction endonuclease. The enzymes cut both strands at the same site, that is between bases G and A only when the sequence GAATCC is present in the DNA. As a result, sticky ends are formed in the vector DNA as well as alien DNA, that is foreign DNA, and which are joined by DNA ligase to form recombinant DNA. Here it is about the diagrammatic representation of recombinant DNA technology. You can observe here that same restriction enzyme is used for cutting both foreign DNA and vector DNA at a specific point, and ligase is used to join foreign DNA to the vector, that is plasmid. Now we will discuss about nomenclature of restriction enzyme. There are some rules for naming of restriction enzyme as we have seen while naming any living organisms. First rule is that the name of enzyme is derived from the name of prokaryotic cell from which the enzyme is isolated. Then the first letter of genus becomes the first letter of the name of the enzyme, which is written in capital letter. Okay, first letter of the name of the enzyme, which is genus, becomes the first letter of the name of the enzyme and it is written in capital letter. The first two letters of the species makes the second and third letter of the name of the enzyme and are written in a small letter. All these letters are written in italics. The fourth letter of the name of the enzyme is the first letter of a strain and is written in capital. At last, the Roman number written at the end of the name of the enzyme indicates the order in which the enzyme was isolated from the strain of the prokaryotic cell. This is also called as degree of isolation. Which enzyme was isolated first from the strain of that prokaryotic cell. Let us see how this is explained by taking an example. The enzyme EcoR first is isolated from Escherichia coli RY13. Here the capital letter E comes from Escherichia. The letter CO comes from coli and E is written with capital letter whereas CO is written with small letter. Then the letter R comes from RY13, that is a strain. So first letter of a strain, that is R, is written. The Roman number first indicates that it was the first enzyme isolated from the bacterium E. coli RY13. Now the next topic is separation and isolation of DNA fragments. A molecule of DNA can be cut into fragments by the enzyme restriction endonucleases. And these fragments of DNA can be separated by a technique, and the name of that technique is called as gel electrophoresis. Electrophoresis is a technique used for separation of substances of different ionic properties. If such substances having different electric charges are kept in a solution, and if an electric current is passed through this solution, the charged particles also moved either towards anode or towards cathode depending on their charges. As we know that DNA fragments are negatively charged molecule, so they can be separated by allowing them to move towards the anode under an electric field through a medium or matrix. And here the most commonly used matrix is in gel electrophoresis is agarose, which is a natural polymer extracted from sea beads. DNA fragments move towards the anode according to their molecular size through the agarose gel. So the smallest fragments moves further away as compared to the larger fragments. So smaller fragments moves further away. Now the separated DNA fragments can be observed only by staining them with a solution of ethidium bromide. The bright orange color bands of DNA can be seen only under ultraviolet light. So what will be the color of the band of DNA? That is orange color. These bands of DNA fragments are cut out from the gel and extracted from the gel pieces. This step of extraction of DNA fragments from the gel piece is called as elution. Then the eluted DNA fragments are purified and used for construction of recombinant DNA by joining them with cloning vectors. Here you may observe a typical gel electrophoresis showing migration of undigested and digested set of DNA fragments. Lane 1 is of undigested DNA, and whereas lane 2 to 4 are having digested DNA fragments. In this figure, it is showing that orange color band of DNA are made visible after exposure to UV light. So, children, this is all about today's session. Thank you. For any kind of doubts, please write your questions in comment section.